got to continue relying on our scouts, coaching staff, even front office to listen to them, make the sound decisions, maximize the draft, coaching staff, athletic performance to help develop these players. Obviously, our coach staff has shown they can definitely, let's call it engineer, let's call it designs that give us an edge, and we'll continue doing that and relying on our veteran players and make the most of it.
Welcome to the Ramsey Sports Report. This is not the way I wanted to wake up. So the big news, the big story is the Rams traded Jalen Ramsey, and they didn't get the first round pick that we were thinking they would. We'll get into that right now, but first of all, I didn't want to do this. I understand the Rams have plan implemented. You know, we're building through the draft, like Les Need says here, and but I didn't want us to give away guys either, right? So we already have the Super Bowl, you know, that's well and good. You know, that's the main thing. Teams are still trying to get where we're at. But we that's the one thing that I will say about us is when we get rid of our players. My Captain Neil guy right here, I didn't realize he was still here. When we get rid of our players, I'll put you down there. We don't get a lot back for them. Let me move my stuff here. So we had a rain, and we had a couple of little leaks, and moved my stuff around. So the Amelia studios are a little distant, whatever, moved around. But anyway, yeah. So Jalen Ramsey is no longer with the Rams, unfortunately, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this, but let's get into it. Let's just get into this right now. Let's see. Let's look into it. Adam Schefter. All right. So the Rams, let's see, more on the Rams trading star Jalen Ramsey to the Dolphins for a third-round pick and tight end Hunter Long. Hunter Long's a decent tight end. It's just, you know, it's just amazing what we do. Well, you know, I don't like that we give away these players sometimes. Let me go to the next screen. Hold on. Let me get into this trade. All right, and let's make this bigger so you can all see it. All right. So the Rams have agreed to trade star Jalen Ramsey to the Miami Dolphins for a 2023 third-round pick, number 77 overall, and a tight end Hunter Long. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter on Sunday the trade proposed Wednesday when the 2023 league year officially begins. Ramsey tweeted his excitement for the trade Sunday. I prayed for this specifically for about a month now, and it's happening. He says, "Let's go." So, you know, he's making the best of it. Of course, he loves his teammates. He loves being with the Rams, winning the Super Bowl with the Rams. But the Dolphins are all in. They're doing what we did. You know, they got Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb. They needed a quarterback. You know, because they released Brian Jones. So we'll see what happens. But there it is right there. So the Rams traded Jalen Ramsey to the Dolphins for a number 77 pick overall in the third-round pick, and tight end Hunter Long. What are your thoughts on that, my Ramelia? What are your thoughts on that? Of course, I didn't want us to trade Ramsey at all, but not even get a second or a first-round pick. I don't like that at all. Let's get into the chat. Jordan Barlow crying. Yeah, man, that's me right now. I didn't want Jalen Ramsey to go, but Not like this though either. Hey, listen, I'm gonna say this. I'm so disheveled that I didn't even get my little or my little light on here. Oh boy! But anyway, let's see what everyone's saying. LA Rams, what's happening, everyone? What's up, my brother? What's up? I appreciate you, Ruiz. Super Bowl champs. It's with the contract. Yeah, man. It's now we're underneath the cap. You have to. We had another days, a week to get under it. But I just wanted us to at least have got a first round pick in there and a second round pick if we were going to. But crazy how we just give away these players. Wavy says Rams downfall is fun to watch. Well, I can't even talk. I'm so flabbergasted at this deal. That's like you have stuff on offer up, not to say it's the same thing, but you have, like, let's say the statue here, right? And even if you're not a Ram fan, you say, well, I got this thing. No low ballers, no low ballers. That's basically who we're selling to, low ballers. That's what I'm trying to say with this dumb example. Low balling the Rams. Golly, hey, I'll give you $10. Get out of here, right? Hey, I'll give you a third round pick in this tight end. Who's your starter? Give me him, and matter of fact, throw in that right tackle or left tackle, left guard. Oh man, that's the thing that drives me nuts. The Rams have a plan. They're implementing the plan. They're getting younger. We have 25 picks in the draft, including now this third round pick. Another tight end to work with. We have to remember something too as well, that the Rams are deleting players that I wish we didn't, but we're getting out from underneath those contracts. We're getting some money to move around. We have 25 picks, including a first round pick next year. So it's these two drafts are so important. And but remember, we haven't gotten our picks back, not our picks, but we haven't gotten players back into the fold yet. So when all the dust settles, we'll see where we're at. But for right now, I'm not a happy camper with these moves that we're doing. We just gave away Wagner. We just gave away Leonard Floyd. God bless Leonard Floyd as well, a champ. Ramsey, in my opinion, we gave him away for a third round pick, and it's not even for a big cap savings, especially with Leonard Floyd. But they have a plan. They're willing to eat the dead money for a year, and it's just, this is the thing that that's frustrating them, because we wanted to have another run it back season with our guys healthy. We had a run it back season, but they were hurt. That's the thing for us. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, let's see here. Ruiz Super Bowl chances we accomplish the Super Bowl goal. Other teams haven't won in 30 years. That's exactly the main point. That's a great comment right there. Exactly right. Vietnamese style says Bucks going for Baker Mayfield. LOL. Yeah, you never know, man. I hope we can bring him back in too, but he's on the back burner. We need to get that offensive line going. We don't know what we're going to do with Allen Robinson. So I'll just say this, that it's time to be patient. It's time to be patient and see what they're doing. They haven't flipped their leg and their wig and flipped their lid. I can't even talk right now. I'm just thinking of what we could have gotten. But and that's what happens too with free agency era. This is why I say that. Whenever I say this, and people don't understand the magnitude of this, the Rams are the only team in the NFC West who have won multiple Super Bowls. They've gone to 4 Super Bowls. They've won multiple Super Bowls in the modern free agency era that started in '93. It's tough to win a Super Bowl. Ask the Niners, ask the Cowboys, ask the Bills. It's tough to win one Super Bowl in this modern era, because as soon as you get good and your players have some years underneath their belt, they're off to free agency. You lose players all the time. So we won the chip. We went to the Super Bowl in 2018 before that, and we mission accomplished. We tried to run it back last year, getting Bobby Wagner. We paid that money for Allen Robinson. Hopefully he can inject us with a bigger target. and all hell broke loose with the injury front. And and so they said, well, you know what, we need to get some draft picks in here because Aaron Donald possibly may retire in a year or two. We want to stay competitive. So when the competitive thing is, we'll see what players we bring in. But right now we're ridding ourselves of a lot of money in contracts, and McVay is reinvigorated and ready to coach for the upcoming years. I posted that on my community page. So as much as this hurts to peel this Band-Aid off, it's a huge Band-Aid actually. Let's just see where we land. But I don't like getting rid of players like a Jalen Ramsey. We should have got something more for him, but that's what's going on, and especially with the social media, everyone's announcing that we're going to possibly cut these players, or they know that the Rams have to get underneath the cap, but that's what happens. Let's see here. Derek Smith, what's up, brother? He says Les Snead sucks. Give him a chance. We'll see. I'll tell you this. Back to this comment. I don't like the like I've said right now. What we get back for these big name players. Let's fleece somebody instead of get fleeced on the back end. But we still have a plan. We're implementing it. I would love to have gotten more. I'm sure they would try to get more for him, but I hate it. I hate this. So I understand your comment. True to the Game says, this news is crazy. It truly is, man. I didn't want to wake. I woke up. I go, let me get ready. Where's my glasses? Let me go on a live stream. LA Ram says, I guess no Super Bowl anytime soon. Okay. Maybe not next year. Let me just say this. We don't know which players we're going to draft. We don't know which players we're going to bring in as replacements. Like let's say we trade Allen Robinson. Are we going to re-sign Troy Hill? We'll see what happens. The dust is just starting to it's a dust cloud right now. We don't know, but we just know the players are leaving. So we'll see what happens when all said and done. But remember this, that the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl with a lot of 2 and 3 year players, not really big stars in the secondary. Besides, they have good players and really good players, but besides Mahomes and their tight end Kelsey, they had pretty good players. So let's just remember how the Super Bowl was won and just go from there. We still have Aaron Donald for another year. We're going to see what happens, but right now it's tough though, because we're losing players. Here's my finger. Now, what are you going to replace it? Khalid Williams, you are Los Angeles Rams, man. From your mouth to God's ears, man. Can you imagine if we were to get Khalid Williams? We'd be like, okay, that was fine. Who cares? We'll see what happens, man. But I would love that. I would love Khalid to be a Ram. I know depressed Packers fan says it would have been more reasonable if they gave you a 3rd and a 4th round pick, but wait, y'all got a lot of draft capital. We got, okay, so 3rd round pick, 77th pick in the draft. That's okay, but not for Jalen Ramsey, who just made another Pro Bowl. Still one of the top 3 cornerbacks in the NFL. 28 years old. Man, but you know what? We just have to figure out what this guy's going to see what this guy's going to do. We can't figure it out. And, I don't like it right now. But I understand they have a plan. We kind of knew that there was going to be some kind of trade. Even if we got a 1st round pick, I wouldn't have liked that he's gone. Let's just face that. But okay, so not from the Debbie Downers. SM says, I said he would be traded. I hate being right, but I'm glad they didn't trade him to an NFC team. That's a good point. That's a great point. He's in the AFC. Super Bowl 56 champion says, Snead is a bum. I don't blame you guys for saying that right now. Wild Man Samurai, my guy. Rams needed to clear money. Good move. Yeah, so there's a voice of reason right there. It's just tough, man. I'm just going to say it this way. I love my team. We all love our team. We get invested with our players. Somebody was asking me, why do you like football so much, or why do you? I like sports in general, but it's like a soap opera. The easiest way to explain it to somebody. Do you have a favorite novella, or do you have a favorite program you watch? Walking Dead, whatever. You get to know the story. You get to know the players. I'm just how I'm rationing it. You get invested in certain players, your favorite players. You get invested in your certain characters you like in the show, right? This is how I'm explaining to somebody that doesn't like sports or doesn't know about sports. Why do we like it? And so then one of the characters dies or something happens and they don't show you what's going on. Where is he at? Is he off of the show? Is he dead? What happened? You're worried about him. Now, they might be trading him or he leaves. We're like, no, and so that's how I explain it. We get invested in these players and teams. It's always the team on the front of the jersey, not the team on the name on the back of the jersey. But it sucks, man. I mean, it does suck. Like I said before, the Cowboys traded Emmitt Smith, the Rams traded Eric Dickerson, the Niners traded Joe Montana. Tough decisions, but yes, thank you, Wildman Samurai, but for giving us the clear head. But yeah, we needed the money. It's a good move for what we need to do, but I just wish we could have got more. Like I said, draft capital, higher draft capital. But yes, indeed, great comment. Neil says it's sad. Every team will say, let's trade with the Rams because they are always desperate, get fleeced. Rams literally get their wool players draft picks fleeced. Yeah, so that's a great comment. He's saying exactly what I'm saying is let's get some more for these guys, but the teams understand that the Rams have a week to get under the cap. And I'm going to say this right here. I'm glad that McVay's back and reinvigorated, but that time that he took away and all the unknown didn't help with the timeline of having to now, get under the cap. What was it? A good week or 2 weeks? That the McVay might retire. He's making a decision. I'm not saying nothing yet, guys. So I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying that with everything that happened this year, that's just another thing that we didn't need is to now have to get under the cap. We could have, if we would have did this right after the season, and there was no choppy waters with the McVay coming back or not, but it is what it is. So they have a team and they have a plan and they're implementing it. We'll see what happens. SMSI, I expected a number 2 and a 3, and I'm disappointed. But at least Miami is taking on all his money. Great comment. I haven't even gone that far because it's almost like I wanted to show the deal, but that's my dude, man. Jalen Ramsey, man. He's a dog, and props to the Miami Dolphins, but yes, indeed. Great comment. SM Super Bowl champions 56 says Snead gives up too much for rentals like Vaughn and gets nothing in return for all pros such as Ramsey. Snead deserves to get fired. Woo! Shots fired. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he got. Now remember this. Let's say these were the worst moves on God's green earth, right? Let's just say these were horrible moves. Like I'm saying, I don't like this move. I don't like getting rid of Leonard Floyd, probably the best pass rusher in the league next to Bosa and all these guys, because he's a good run player, a good run stopper. He's athletic. He gets you 9 sacks a year. He plays big in the playoffs. He doesn't stop like Bosa, maybe. I'm just kidding. I hate getting rid of these players, man. And but we did get the Super Bowl. It's literally all around in my Rams studio. So we have to remember that, even though this hurts. But yes, yeah, I understand the feeling. Vietnamese style says Seahawks have the number 5 overall. Man, they're gonna eat crazy good on draft day. Yes, that's a great comment. The Seahawks, in my opinion, overachieved last year. They got one game, but the refs took away from us. We should have won, and the Lions should have made the playoffs that last game when the Rams guy, defender was pushed into the kicker, and they called it against us, and then the Seahawks ended up winning that game. It should have been the Lions in the playoffs last year, and we should have beat the Seahawks. As beat down as we were, we should have beat the Seahawks. They had no business being in the playoffs, but it is what it is. But yeah, they have Pete Carroll, and they deserve a pat on the back, man, because they're stayed competitive, and that's what we're trying to do. We're making these big moves that hurt right now, and we want to stay competitive, be in the playoffs, and and see what we do. Now, remember, we haven't got any players back yet. We haven't got players to, I don't want to say replace these guys, but guys to fill in these spots. So we'll see when all the dust settles where we're at then. We have a lot of work to do, though. Wavy says, looks like I won't go to the Rams get Rams games next season. I'll spend my money elsewhere. I'll still be at game one. I'll be posting videos and everything. But like again, keep up a stiffer lip, guys. Yeah. We haven't filled the holes that we're putting for ourselves yet in positions. We'll see what we get back. We'll see what guys we're filling in, and then but it's going to be a 1-2 year process to start looking like, wow, I'm so excited for this season because we'll see what happens. But if the Rams make some draft moves, they fill in some young guys. I'm very intrigued what's going to happen with Allen Robinson if we do move away from him, how it's going to look. Ben Skoranek coming back after the year he had last year towards the end. Tutu Atwell started to show flashes. We got Lance McClutchin, still there. Didn't get a chance really next year, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be still an exciting upcoming offseason. It is disappointing right now, but let's just give it a chance. SM says Rams fleeced Browns for Corbett, but they let him leave to the Panthers. Yes, indeed. Tough choices. That was one of the key things that we moved away from, and we signed these other guys, but they got hurt, and they wouldn't even look at. Like I said this in my community post. No Boom gets hurt the first game of the season, and then we lose a left guard, a center, a left guard, and then these guys are revolving chairs playing out of position, and all hell broke loose. So we never got a cohesive. It wasn't until Baker Mayfield was starting, when Stafford was on the shelf, that we got some games in a row. We had like 14 or 15 O-line changes on the pregame roster as far as the starting starters on the O-line last year. There was no cohesiveness. You have to have that when you're trying to block stunts and things like that. And so it wasn't until the last few games that we got some cohesiveness, because some guys played a few games together and they got to know each other. So let's just remember that too. But yes, we'll see what happens. Super Bowl 56 champion says Caleb Williams is going to be a bust. Woo! Shots fired on that one. I really like Caleb Williams, but nothing's guaranteed when it comes to Super Bowl. Super Bowl 56 champion says Wavy about about to play 17 road games. Snead just destroyed the Rams' chance to get new fans. Woo! You guys are tough on Snead right now, boy. I don't blame you though. Jets Gang says 2 first-round picks. LOL. Jacques 42 says, sup, Rudy? Damn, just heard the news. Yeah, man. Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. I can't wait till we start getting players back. We will start figuring out what we're going to do with our O-line and stuff. So that's going to be coming as well. But with that last comment, it's like Beetlejuice. When you call my name, I don't even have it set up because I just came in here. I had to talk about this. It's crazy. It's crazy. There we go. Rudy. Oh boy. Charles Adderley, what's up, bro? He says, good afternoon. Watching from Nassau, the Bahamas. Wow, that's amazing. Outstanding stream. Go Dolphins all the way. Yes, indeed. Your Dolphins are making moves, my man. Props to you. Got a great player, man. I hope you guys do something, man. I hope you guys, the Dolphins, They've been due for a long time. That's a franchise that's been due for a long time. One of my favorite quarterbacks, of course, like most of you guys, that isn't a Ram, Dan Marino. And but props to you, man. We'll see what happens. If you are a Dolphin fan, props to you. And my guy G12, who's also a Dolphin fan. True to Game says they're just doing what they did in St. Louis. Ouch. Well, wait a minute. Let's take the good side. The greatest show on turf in St. Louis. SM says Rams clear cap cash. Something had to give. Return to LA limited by fans scared off on contract. As for 29-year-old QB, had it not been Team Ramsey was excited by money, ask might have been bigger. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Duh. I mean, it's okay. Ramsey was cool, but probably asked for a lot. One thing I want to bring into the trade, that's a great comment, and I'm understanding what you guys are saying. So Jalen Ramsey, I hate that we got rid of him, right? So let's just say it this way. You guys have me back on track because as I'm talking to you guys, I'm thinking, who are we going to get to replace these guys? Kobe Durant's there. He's young, but he looked very promising last year. But he's not going to fill Jalen Ramsey's shoes. But he looks like he's one of the better players. Quentin Lake will get a chance next year. He was hurt all last year. He's got a high potential. Darren Kendrick is a decent backup, or he can make plays, but he's very young, very raw. But I like him. Robert Rochelle too, played well at times. But remember this too, guys. Jalen Ramsey, he was tweeting about other guys' contracts and he got paid. He understands his worth. So there was rumors. I hate to be the rumor guy. I hate rumors, and it's understandable that he was looking to re-up his deal in the next year or two. So, just remember that too, that there's a possibility. First of all, the third round pick, I'm still not good. I'm still not great with that. But one of the reasons why, besides getting under the cap, getting this number figure off of our cap for this year, is because there's a possibility that maybe he wanted to re-up his deal, and they didn't. Maybe wanting a Jaguar situation where he's not happy with the contract. I don't know. I'm just giving you some other things because it's very. I don't understand why getting rid of a 28-year-old Jalen Ramsey, but he also maybe wanted another big contract in the next year to re-up it. And so, that's been reports of people saying stuff like that. And he deserves all the money you can get. Whenever you can get some money for your talent, you do it. But maybe that's had to do with the issue as well. Yes, indeed. Diego says Stafford 8, Norm Van Brocklin. Well, they're both champs. SM says that chance Zach Wilson is your PFP. Da says Rams demand is high. People are asking for a crazy lot to play for the Rams because of how many deals we made during the Super Bowl season. Yes, indeed. Danny Berry says, yo, Ramsey overrated. Oh, shots fired. And then he says, Rams suck. I'm a Chiefs fan. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, man, there it is. Let me see what let's see what we got. There's Jalen Ramsey. No, hold on. Let me show you guys something here. I didn't realize I had this still on. Hold on. That's funny. There's Jalen Ramsey in a Dolphins uniform. Ugh, that's horrible. Yuck. Props to you, my Dolphins brother. I'm just messing with you, but man. Wait, is that Jalen Ramsey? You can't see with the helmet, but okay. Helmet swap, okay. Oh, Twitter. I tell you. Oh, let's see what the Rams had to say. Where are you guys at? Jalen Ramsey mood. There he is right there. So there's our guy, Jalen Ramsey. And one thing too, don't get frustrated by what any takes that he's saying on your social media. He's a young player. He just got traded from a team that he wanted to stay with. And he was a dog. He's a great player. And so, he's making things light. He wants to it's very hurt. It's very hurt. Oops, there's a bad one. It's very hurtful um for a team to trade you. Let's just remember that. There's a good remembrance right there. But yeah, so it's very hurtful for you to get traded, right? So just remember that. So, I don't take, it is what it is, that does suck though. There's our executive of the year, Kevin Demoff, probably a year too late for that award. But okay, I don't see anything on our Jalen Ramsey. We'll probably have something later. I don't see anything. Surprisingly, I don't see anything from Jalen Ramsey. Thank you or anything. They'll do that later. So let's get off of that. But yeah, it's crazy. Stephen Lane says we got robbed. Yes, indeed, man. 3rd round pick for this guy. Johnny Ripple's terrible trade. The team is saying they are not trying to win this year. Pathetic. Why would Donald come back to this going to be S defense? I understand, man. I understand so much. I understand so much that what you're saying with that. One thing I do want to say is on that note there is I'm very sure. Let me just tell you this way. I don't know anything. It's just my opinion, but I'm very sure that they let Donald know what they're doing. There's some big moves coming. He understands it's a business as well. Donald, he's a businessman himself, and so don't worry on that front. He's not that kind of guy. He also trusts these guys. The Les Sneads and the McVeighs and the Tony Pastores, the financial guru, I call him. But just don't, just remember that as well. But oh, you gotta love our guys in here. Big Mac Sports. Big Mac Sports says, Rudy, good Sabbath. Now y'all, who's got a cut to cover the Niners receivers? That's a good point, man. Right now we don't have anybody. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Like my brothers here. They have a very formidable team. I'm just gonna say that, but they still haven't been able to get where we are. So we'll see. I mean, it's good to before teams are gathering draft picks and brick by brick and blah blah blah, and then that wouldn't work. And then the Rams come and they're all in 2018, and they get to the Super Bowl and they fall short. They retool. We had a bad year 2019. We released Todd Gurley. We traded Brandon Cooks. We made the playoffs, which I expect for us to make the playoffs this year. I'm just saying that. Still, and then the following year after that, 2021, we win the Super Bowl. So if that can happen here, we retool, rebuild, remold, get some draft picks, bring in some players, 1-2 year contracts, veteran minimum, or whatever you call that. 1 year deals. That's better for. It's not basketball, but and throw a hat in the ring to get in the playoffs, and then we win the Super Bowl in a year or two. I would love that, but we have to remember also too that we already won the Super Bowl. The Cowboys, the Niners, the Packers, who have not won not too long ago, but as them, but they would love to be in our shoes. That they've already won a Super Bowl and they're figuring out to get back to another one. John Rubin says the Rams have an amazing ability to cut short what should be a dynasty runs. Martz killed them with his arrogance. Cena McVay have brought the BS. They are this have bought the BS that they are the smartest. Great comment. Johnny Ripper says this didn't even clear a cap room. The Rams are like $5 million under the cap. There are no big moves coming this year. Hate to be negative, but there's nothing positive about it. There's nothing wrong with your opinion, Johnny Ripple. We'll see what happens. Just remember, it's still coming. I'm going to give my guy 187 with the laughing emoji. But still, though, you can't really laugh at us because we already won the Super Bowl. That's what I don't understand. And I know it's just going back and forth, but we already have won the Super Bowl. You guys are trying to get and it doesn't look good, really, because Mahomes, for the teams that are going to get there, Mahomes they're just getting started, man. They look very formidable for the next few years, and they have a young team too. So hopefully we can do what they did with a lot of young players, and we'll see what happens. I'm still excited what's going to happen with the moves that we're going to get. Johnny Ripple says with Fancy Lance at QB, no one will have to worry about covering that receivers. Great comeback. Stephen Lane says the draft could be promising. Yes, it's you know what? That's a great comment to focus on as well, because listen, do we like these moves by this gentleman right here? But he did bring us a Super Bowl, remember? No, I don't like him right now. But let's see what happens when the dust settles. Okay, let's just see what happens when the dust settles when it's game one coming up, and like I said, though, I'm not happy still with getting only a third round pick for Jalen Ramsey. I can't say it enough, but let's just see how it goes. So that's all I wanted to come in for. I appreciate all you guys' support. Thank you so much. I'll be having more lives more often. I was on hiatus for a little bit, taking a vacation, stepping away for a few minutes. There wasn't really any big news, and so as soon as the big news came in, I came on today afternoon. So but we'll see, guys. Right now this hurts. This sucks. Jalen Ramsey's not there, Floyd's not there, Wagner's not there. But let's see who we recoup. Let's see who we bring in. There's a reason why they did this, to get under the cap, even though it's small numbers for right now. We didn't get a lot for Jalen Ramsey. But let's, third round pick, a 77th pick in the draft. Maybe we can get use that pick for an O lineman. Maybe we can use that pick for a stud edge rusher. Maybe another a tall cornerback. I've seen a couple. I haven't posted them yet, but we'll see what happens with this. We have some draft capital, and you gotta love my guy Burnbaugh. He said, "Ha ha ha." He says, we would have given you one of the tight ends we got. LOL. Yeah, man. Well, I'm going to say something, Burnbaugh. Thank you for coming. And come in more often, man. I appreciate the more the merrier. You guys have been so due, man. But yeah, it's okay to make fun of us because, that's a big name. But it's funny that when we do have him, Jalen Ramsey's washed. And then we get a third round pick. Ha ha ha. It's funny, but it is what it is. But yes, indeed. 187 says trade Stafford next, please. No. I want it. Let's just say this. I want this man to at least be able to have it. Okay, so the Rams that we were last year were not the Super Bowl Rams. Let's remember, we didn't have OBJ. Nobody had OBJ. He was hurt. We didn't have Von Miller. We had Bobby Wagner, and then we got hurt. That wasn't really the Rams. The Rams were the one that won the Super Bowl. This is not the Rams right now because we're getting rid of our frontline players and we haven't put anybody back. But we'll see what happens. But we have won the chip. That's the main thing. And we'll see what happens in the future. I'm really I'm positive about it. We'll see what happens. But right now, I don't like it that we got rid of Ramsey and we didn't get a high draft pick. Well, we did get a high draft pick, but not a second or first round. Back in the day, a watcher says, how many years ago when we lost Dickerson, I felt lost. But being a Ram fan means you roll with the punches and move on. Something good will come of this. Yes, indeed, baby. That's a great comment. That is the best comment of the one of the best comments of my chat so far. And I got to give you that one, my brother. I like that comment. And let's get on a quick lighter note. So props to, I'm not a big soccer guy. I've said this before. I'm not a big soccer guy, but this is what happens when you put champs together at the LAFC. Let's take a lighter note. So there's our guy AD champion going at the LAFC game the other day, and here we are again. Like I said, I'm not a big soccer game, but it's all about LA teams, baby. And yeah, so there's Aaron Donald. He's a champion. He's a Los Angeles Ram champion. And so the champions got together and they have a right to celebrate. So let's remember that, guys. It's tough right now. But we roll with the punches, like my man said. And yes, indeed. Stephen Lane says corners aren't too bad in this year's draft. There you go. I like that comment. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. There's a lot of options that we have. There's my guy at CG. Johnny Ripple says if dumping Ramsey cleared a bunch of space, a third could make sense, but not getting a first and not clearing cap, it makes no sense. Yep, you're saying exactly what I'm saying. Exactly. My guy is CG Ruthless Sports 49ers Talk. No more them picks anymore. Do you guys got any more draft picks? Yes, we do, CG. We have plenty, 25 plus draft picks in the next two drafts, including McVay's first number one pick he's had since he's been a Rams coach. And that's the thing. But now we're going to have money and we're going to have draft picks. And we also have the Lombardi in LA. So we'll see what happens. But thank you, my guy. CG for coming in. William says Snead needs God did. Johnny Ripple says Snead has the negotiating skill of M for Jones and horrible bosses. SG says I keep SG. Blah! CG Ruthless 49ers Talk says if you wanted a third and a tight end, at least Charlie Warner would have been a better option. LOL. Well, you know what? They took most of the money, from what I'm understanding, as well, too, on that contract. That's why we had. Listen, if they take on most of the money or some of the money, they tend to lower the draft pick. So just remember that as well. That's one of the reasons what happens. Jock 42 says up CG. I know, damn. Johnny Ripple says big opportunity for Durant now. Yes, indeed, baby. Yes, indeed. So. We are enough ranting about this, but yeah, whenever the team takes on some of the money, from what I understand, that you're trading with, the pick tends to get lower. But I'm sure we could have maybe finagled a second round out of it, but I guess maybe they couldn't. But let's just remember, guys, that right now we've lost some players, but we haven't put anything back into the fold, and the guys have an opportunity to do something, and like I said, let's just remember what our guy says here. Okay, and right now it's tough, but let's just remember what our guy says.
We got to continue relying on our scouts, coaching staff, even front office, to listen to them, make the sound decisions, maximize the draft. Coaching staff, athletic performance to help develop these players. Obviously, our coach staff has shown they can definitely let's call it engineer, let's call it designs that give us an edge, and we'll continue doing that and relying on our veteran players and make the most of it.
So there it is right there. So, let's just see where we go with this. And they have a plan and they're implementing the plan. We're not involved in the plan. That's not maybe how we would do it, but also they were implementing the plan when they got the all-in attitude since 2018. So let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. It sucks right now, but let's just give them the benefit of the doubt because they've already got us the chip. They got us the magical season. Teams, like I said, the Cowboys, the Niners, the Packers, whoever, the Dolphins, the whoever, wish they could had that 2001 season that we already just came off of a year past. And so let's just see what happens. And right now, players are going, but we haven't brought anybody in, and we haven't had the draft yet, and we haven't made any moves as far as getting veteran guys to help fill some roles. So let's see what happens. Let's keep an open mind on that. William said, at least everybody's comments, not just ones who donate. Yes, indeed. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. William says, at least you read it. There you go. Got it. I got you. At least you read everybody's comments. Got you. Let me highlight that one. Thank you. I appreciate you so much, man. And again, I appreciate the support, everybody. I'll be doing more lives and more videos. And yes, I will be going to SoFly Stadium next year, and I'll be bringing you tailgating videos and things like that. And listen, guys, keep up a stiffer lip. Jalen Ramsey's no longer a Ram, but he'll always be a champion. And let's just see what we do. We have the draft upcoming in the next 2 years. We have 25 plus picks. We just added another draft pick, high draft pick, 77th pick in the draft. That doesn't mean that we can't move up, move back. We have McVay's going to have his first round pick since he became coach of the Rams. We can use that as a bargaining tip for Caleb Williams. No, we'll see. I was hoping to get a first round pick for Ramsey. But it is what it is when it comes to that part. We don't know what was involved, but let's just remember, as soon as we start getting our roster together, putting guys and filling roles, we're going to get a better picture. And but just keep the faith, fellas, because these guys have a plan and they're implementing it. And McVay is there for the long term, as he says. So I'm excited. Back in the day says Rams are still poised to get to the playoffs. One player doesn't dictate our future. Let's go Rams. Yes, indeed. Remember this too. Great comment. I love you guys. Remember that stretch where Jalen Ramsey was hurt and the defensive secondary with Troy Hill was actually playing better at that time. Basically filled. They didn't replace him, but they played good enough where we were winning some games without him, or winning a game, or played good with him. We didn't win too many games last year, even with Ramsey, but let's the guys have another year under their belt. The Kobe Durant's, Darian Kendrick, Robert Rochelle. We'll see what happens. So let's just remember, it's a great comment right there. One guy is not, unless it's an Aaron Donald, the team. But yes, indeed, Dirty Dan says we had a lot. We had at least a tight end you could. We had at least a tight end you could have took, and we give you a third. Yeah. But 77th pick is not bad, but for this caliber player. But we'll figure it out. John Rip says, I got to disagree with Snead with the coaches showing can develop players. Haven't seen a lot of that. This is why the OL depth was so bad. The staff had multiple years to develop depth and couldn't. Well, we've also lost some guys, Johnny. I understand what you're saying, though. It sucks because we got Austin Corbett and we lost guys at the same time, and then these guys had a refill. We actually tried to get rid of Roger Saffold, and then he failed the physical with the Raiders, and we brought him back, and he helped us get to the Super Bowl 2018. So yeah, they have a lot to prove. They have. Are they perfect? No, but in the NFC West, they're one of the only teams, and the NFC one of the only teams to have won a Super Bowl in recent years. So at least they have that. But I understand exactly what you're saying. Yes, indeed. 187. 187. The Rams run is over already. Jack 42 says Seattle can make a playoff run during a rebuild weekend too. Yes, indeed. I love it. Yes, indeed. And listen, we have to see where we're going to be with our guys that we put into the fold to fill the roles, who we draft. McVay's going to lean on these young players that we're going to get into the draft in the fold. And we'll go from there. Right now, Stafford's on the team still for the next couple of years. Cooper Kupp is still there. Van Jefferson is still there. Higbee's still there. If Allen Robinson comes back, he'll have another year under his belt, and he'll actually get some throws from Stafford during the offseason. If you remember the elbow gate, no pun intended, Brock Purdy. He couldn't throw to Van Jefferson, so there was no rapport. There was no chemistry coming out of the gate. The Rams offense started slow because of that, because the Rams don't play their players in preseason. So there's a lot of things. Listen, I'm just going to say this. The Rams could be the Seahawks, like he said. That's a great comment. Next year, the surprise team. Wow, look at the Rams. They won the division. They're the wild card. Who knows? Because listen, there's in the NFC West, the Seahawks, in my opinion, overachieve, but they're going to have a lot of young players too. There's going to be on that side some growing pains. The Arizona Cardinals, with the new coach, getting the culture and everything turned around, there's going to be some growing pains. The Niners, who have been to a few NFC Championships games in the recent years, have two quarterbacks who seem to be injury prone, and so they were on to their fourth quarterback last year, and they got hurt. There could be some growing pains, whether Trey Lance starts or Brock Purdy plays. And Brock Purdy already didn't have the strongest arm, but now he's going to have some kind of band in his ligament. That's going to cut down on his strength. And I all my best wishes to him. I don't like injuries, but none of these teams are guaranteed. In other words, the Niners have a great defense. They have really great weapons that will help them immensely, but you have to have a quarterback to win the chip. And so we'll see what happens. So everybody in the NFC West has their own issues, unless you just want to win the NFC West and you're happy with that. God bless you. But you still have to get into the big dance, and you have to win it. And in my opinion, you have to have a pretty good quarterback, because the way the NFL is going, defenses still win Super Bowls, and you make plays with defenses. But offenses right now, the way the leagues are, the cornerbacks can't put their hands on you, and you're able to get away with a lot more. Williams says, I want OBJ. Me too. He was looking great. And when they said Purdy is a dog, yeah, I like the kid. He's a young dude, little on the small side, but he's a gamer, man. You put him out there, he's basically what we thought John Wolford would be. John Wolford, our backup quarterback, mobile-ish, can move around, pretty agile, okay arm, but he wasn't very accurate. And Brock Purdy actually is what we thought John Wolford would be when he took over for Goff, when Goff was struggling. But yes, indeed. But on that note, guys, I appreciate each and every one. Love each and every one of you guys. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. And again, I'm hit the alert button. Sometimes I'll come in like this. If there's more moves, I'll come right in. And I appreciate each and one of you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. I hope everybody has a great weekend and a safe weekend. Props to everybody that came in today. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys for coming in and making my show great. I can't do it without you guys. I love having you guys in here, and you guys that listen to the streams off air, and a lot of people do that. People are working out with their families. I appreciate it. Everyone stay safe. God bless each and one of you guys, and I appreciate it. And as we always say, may the Ramelia be with you, and Ramulators, mount up. Have a great weekend, guys. Appreciate it.